Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is the case of the Idaho 4. May the 4 victims rest in peace. Condolence to their families. Hunter Johnson and Emily Ant were one of the two people Dylan Mortensen called 8 hours after the quadruples took place. Hunter Johnson went to the kitchen and took a knife, went upstairs, and he discovered XANAS unconscious. We heard him say, "Go, go, go," to Emily, Jody, and the surviving roommates, allegedly. It is strange that he did not mention Ethan, his best friend. It leaked from the grand jury, and we've heard it plenty of times, that Ethan was found in front of XANAS' doorway. Ethan is 6'4". He was a tall young man. Hunter couldn't have missed seeing Ethan unless Ethan fell on the other side of the bed. That could have been the thud that came from the neighbor's DoorDash camera. I'm surprised. I know motive is not important. Brian Koberger is taking the plea deal. But don't these victims' families deserve to know what exactly happened? It isn't strange that so many of us don't believe that BK did these crimes or that he did it alone. What happened to the fact that BK said Bethany Funk has exculpatory evidence? Where's the exculpatory evidence? Was that blocked? Is that one of the reasons Ann Taylor told her client to take the plea deal? I believe they wanted to take the plea deal to get the DP off the table, which is understandable. No one wants to lose their life, especially if you're not sure if he's actually even done it. Today I'd like to talk a bit about these two, Hunter, Emily, and I'd like to talk about the Chapin family too. I don't see much emotions, personally, from all of them. It looks like they're all dressed up for these interviews. Hunter and Emily were on People magazine. I'm sure they got paid for that. I love the way they're sitting. People have just moved on with their life. I'm not saying their life should be on a hold, that they should stop living because their friends were unalived, but I'm just saying I don't see any emotions. You will have even shed a tear when you talk about your best friends who are victims, who are no longer here with us. But I didn't see that. We never got to hear how the crimes happened. I really wonder where Murphy was. If Murphy was barking, if somebody took him out to the house, if they sedated him. Where was Murphy? Maddie called Bethany Funk at 2:53. I wonder why Bethany Funk never answered. Was all this pre-planned, not to answer the phones? Why did Maddie and Kaylee call Jack D 10 times on the whole? Was Jack D trying to get to alibi? Or was it DM or BF who was using the phones? Dateline told us that Ethan, his legs were carved. Was it carved after he was unalived? Or was he tortured? God bless his soul. Why are they just dropping hints? Are they going to tell us more? Could it be possible that the judge told the prosecutor to offer Koberger a plea deal because of everything that was leaked out from the Dateline? There are books that have been written, and we know there's Amazon Prime coming out. Was it on the 11th of July? A week from now? Maybe the prosecutor wanted to avoid the circus because there would have been more questions than answers. There would have been more doubts that Brian Koberger did this. This is too sudden to come out with a pre-deal after 2.5 years, almost 3 years. That's the reason everyone's wondering if Koberger was pushed to take the plea deal. We know and we understand that Ann Taylor's main focus was to get the DP off the table. How come we've never heard Brian Koberger's alibi? This is the interview that really bothered me. Ethan's triplets and his mother and father took an interview with ABC News. I didn't see much empathy. I know people grieve in different ways, but I have more questions than answers.
Decided maybe it was best to tell our story of Ethan literally one time. He deserves our story of him.
This morning, as the Idaho murder suspect prepares to accept a plea deal, the family of Ethan Chapin speaking publicly together for the first time since Ethan, his girlfriend Xana Kernodle, and her roommates Madison Mogan and Kaylee Gonzalez were brutally murdered in an off-campus home at the University of Idaho.
I miss him every day. When you lose your son at 20, you know, it's different. It's a different loss. And I miss him every single day. And I always will.
Ethan, a triplet with his siblings Hunter and MAISEY, all attending the University of Idaho together. Hunter and MAISEY and their parents, Jim and Stacy, now telling their story in a new Prime Video docuseries, One Night in Idaho, The College Murders, remembering their 6'4", larger-than-life brother and son.
We played every sport together. Every time we went in the car, it was together. Partied together. There was never a dull moment.
The night before Ethan was killed, MAISEY brought him to her sorority formal. She now cherishes the text he sent her before bed.
So he started off by texting me, I think he said, "Dog, come hang out. We all want you here." And I said, "I'm going to bed." And then he said, "Love you." And I didn't even respond to that. I think I was asleep by then.
And the I love you kind of stood out though.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Hunter, who pledged Sigma Chi with Ethan, says the next morning a friend at the fraternity woke him up saying the police were at Xana's house.
Hunter Johnson came up to me and said, I was like, "Where's Ethan and Xana?" And he's like, "They're not here anymore." So like, "What do you mean they're not here anymore?" He's like, "I think they were murdered last night."
Hunter was forced to call his family with the news, his parents in disbelief.
It drives me crazy because I've always wanted to protect my family. And there's really nothing there that I could have done. You know, instantly he was taken.
A suspect, Brian Koberger, arrested nearly 7 weeks later. With a bit of relief, the Chapins shifting their focus to their son's legacy to honor him.
We all benefited from having Ethan in our lives for 20 years. It's a tremendous loss.
I find this to be strange. Hunter Chapin said that Hunter Johnson called him, came to his frat, actually to the Sigma Chi frat, and he asked him, where's Ethan and Zana? And he said, I think they were murdered last night. What a way to give such horrible news to a brother. Why didn't DM and BF call Hunter Chapin first? Ethan was his brother. Why did they decide to call Hunter Johnson, Emily, and Jody first? So Hunter Johnson went and told Hunter Chapin, was this before the police or after the police is the question. Quite strange. Would they ever tell us the truth? Why did they call Hunter Johnson first? Hunter Chapin went to the Sigma Chi, told Hunter Chapin, Hunter Johnson went to the Sigma Chi and told Hunter Chapin that Ethan and Xana were unalived. When did he get the chance to do this? Was this when he was running around with the knife inside the house, or was this after he called the police? Because if he went inside the house, found the victims, he would have had DNA. He went into a crime scene. And then he goes to Sigma Chi with whatever DNA that could be on him and reports it to Hunter Chapin. I find that to be strange. Hunter Johnson was just doing a lot. Either he's a good Samaritan or either he's involved, in my opinion. This is all my thoughts, my speculations and my opinions. The 911 call was the biggest red flag in this case. The surviving roommates not calling 911 was a bigger red flag. Huge red flags.
Together, every time we went in the car, it was together, partied together. There was never a dull moment.
The night before Ethan was killed, Maisie brought him to her sorority formal. She now cherishes the text he sent her before bed.
So he started off by texting me, I think he said, dog, come hang out. We all want you here. And I said, I'm going to bed. And then he said, love you. And I didn't even respond to that. I think I was asleep by then.
And the I love you kind of stood out though.
Well, yeah, definitely.
We have to keep in mind that Ethan took his sister Maisie as a date, and Hunter took Maisie's roommate as his date to the Betty ball. That was between 8 to 9 p.m. That was the last time Ethan was seen, because nobody had pictures of Ethan and Xana. Sigma Chi fraternity said that he was there only for 2 hours and they were lying. We know that Sigma Chi was under the microscope. Fo-Chan told on them. Anonymous in Fo-Chan told on them. I always wondered if Anonymous was Hunter or Maisie, up to today. Now picture this. You have three triplets, yeah? Who hang around with each other, chill with each other all the time. According to Hunter Chapin, he said we did everything together. And they went to the same fraternity, Sigma Chi. Let's not forget what Stacey Chapin said in her first interview. 2 a.m. is the hardest time for us. We heard the crowd yelling Zana and Ethan's name between 2 to 2:10 at the grub truck. Wouldn't the triplets know where Ethan was that night? Hunter ain't talking about that. MAISEY said that he called her. Sorry, he texted MAISEY. Ethan texted MAISEY. That was the last text. May he rest in peace. He said, "Dog, come and chill with us. We miss you. We want you here." And she said, "Dog, I'm sleeping."
Text he sent her before bed.
So he started off by texting me, I think he said, "Dog, come hang out. We all want you here." And I said, "I'm going to bed." And then he said, "Love you." And I didn't even respond to that. I think I was asleep by then.
And you kind of stood out though.
Well, yeah, definitely.
I love the skills of active listening and counseling. That is one important skill, because communication gets better when people are listening and not just hearing you. Active listening is important. This could be nothing, but this is what I understood. I want to know, when Ethan was texting MAISEY and saying, "Dog, we miss you. We want you here. Come around and hang with us. Hang around with us. Come chill with us," basically. And MAISEY said, "No, I'm sleeping." My question is, where was Ethan when he texted you, MAISEY? Because that is a very important part of Ethan and Zana's timeline. Ethan said, "Come hang with us." I'm sure that is Ethan, Zana, and probably a couple of people. Pay attention. So whoever Ethan and Zana was chilling with went wrong. I believe those are the people who were responsible for the quadruples. Because Ethan was chilling. That was his last text to his sister. He wasn't sleeping. What time was this, MAISEY? Make it easier for us. What time did he text you? This is really important, at least for me, because now we know that Ethan actually texted his sister and he said, "Come hang around with us. Dog, come and hang with us. We miss you. We want you here." And she said she was sleeping. Where was Ethan? Was he at home, chilling with Zana and a couple of other people? I used to always look at the living room and show you there were many plastic cups on the window. There was a bowl on the table. There was an alcohol beverage, a beer bottle on the table. I used to always ask within these 2.5 years, could it be possible that Ethan and Zana were chilling and somebody barged in from the ground floor, from Bethany, funk his flow, since everyone had the code to this house? Could it have been the Banfield boys or the Sigma Chi fraternity boys? Were they chilling with someone, or while they were chilling, did something happen to them? Because this makes more sense with what Zana's father said. Didn't he say that Zana was chilling at home? She called him at midnight and she was chilling at home. And now we have MAISEY saying Ethan invited her and said, "Come over. We miss you. Come chill with us." Did they know what was about to happen? God forbid. I don't think they would have let that to happen to their own brother. Look at how Hunters look at MAISEY. Like, don't go offside. Be careful what you say. So Hunter Johnson went to Sigma Chi, told Hunter Chapin that Ethan and Zana were unalived. And Xana's father, Jeff Kernodle, said that Xana was chilling at home at midnight. Somebody attacked them while they were chilling at home. May they rest in peace. I'm happy that MAISEY did not go over. It could have been worse. We would have had 2 unalive triples then. Thank God. God is great. But something doesn't make sense. Hunter Chapin, you were at the Sigma Chi fraternity. There was brewing beef going on with Ethan Xana, David Borachu, and David Lodge. You all both attended the party, and so did Bethany Funk. What happened there? Guys, let me know what you'll think. I think they all were chilling in the living room and they got attacked. The living room, the kitchen, and the bedrooms were actually the crime scenes. So I'm glad that MAISEY said that Ethan texted her and said, come chill with us. The theory that I used to always use in the beginning seems to be right. They were chilling and somebody came and attacked them. Somebody could have been hiding in the house even. Where were the surviving roommates if Ethan and Xana were chilling? They must have been chilling with them too. Was the exculpatory evidence Bethany Funk has? If DM uploaded this picture at 3:33 a.m., it looked like the deed is done for me. Look at the finger, look at the tongue. Ethan and Xana were chilling at home, like Xana's father said. So DM would have known exactly what happened. She's pretending to hallucinate. She wasn't sure if she saw bushy eyebrows. I've never seen somebody who sees eyebrows before eyes. Brian Koberger has sea blue eyes, blue color eyes. She would have noticed the eyes. And he has big eyes. She would have noticed that. Xana was chilling at Alpha Kappa Lambda. That is the fraternity the Banfield boys belong to. I've always said, what if the Banfield boys were chilling with Xana and Ethan? And Saeed. He's part of AKA, Alpha Kappa Lambda. Now that we have MAISEY who's saying that her brother, Ethan, his final text said, come and chill with us. Dog, we miss you. So where were you all chilling? At AKA? Or were they chilling at the Sigma Chi? I don't think so. They were chilling at home. And they got attacked. Maybe by the Banfield boys, allegedly. Or maybe later by the Sigma Chi fraternity boys. I always believed that the Sigma Chi fraternity boys allegedly were involved with the unalivings of Kaylee and Maddie. I've always said, I believe, Xana and Ethan were deleted by AKA or Sigma Chi. These 3 were the original alternative suspects, in my opinion. Look at his forehead. It's as big as a tennis ball. Did they come from 1122 King Road? Their clothes don't look right. They look like they changed their clothes. Look at this one's forehead. This isn't normal. He's standing 1 minute away from a quadruple unaliving. How did he get this bump on his head? Look at his eyes. He can barely open it. Did these young men have a fight with Ethan and Zana. Ethan Knight knows how to use a gun. He unalived his father and his father's dog, although it was self-defense. The prosecutors never believed that. They said he pre-planned it. And Taylor always looked nervous. His clothes looked too small. Maybe these three surprised Ethan and Zana. They were asked to leave, and a fight broke out. Just saying. Let me know what y'all think. Please like, share, and subscribe. I hope the correct justice is served, which I doubt. I don't know why BK took the plea deal. Hopefully we'll find out more. May the victims rest in peace. May everyone have a lovely weekend.